So, hello everyone. As you're probably aware, I'm Andy Woolley. If you're on this channel, I'm a digital marketer, have been for the best part of 20 years. This is my first stream with an honoured guest, Levi Gomez. The gentleman I've been speaking to a little while online. He too has a LinkedIn channel and a YouTube platform as well. I will make sure those links are in the description below, so do go check him out. Some very interesting videos on there. Very much in the genre that I'm at the moment, affiliate marketing, or specifically making money online, which I'm sure he will enlighten us to. So let's kick this off, Levi. Give us a little bit about who you are and what you've done to get this far in your journey.
Yeah, so I'm Levi Gomez. So I'm 43 years old. I'm born and raised from the Netherlands. My parents are from the Dutch Antilles, from the Caribbean, from Curaçao and Bonaire. I'm married for 22 years to my lovely wife. We've got two daughters. They are grown and out of the house already, so that's good. So in 2004, we decided to immigrate to Belgium. So that's the country below the Netherlands. And I was a car electronics installer for 16 years. Came in contact with digital marketing. And when I saw digital marketing, I was completely hooked. And I decided to do some real self-study. So I think you can you know what I mean. I searched a lot of information, consumed a lot of videos, a lot of content, and then I decided to end my career in 2020. And I searched a job for only in the weekend, so I can put more time in during the weeks for building my online business. And from 2021, I decided to found my own company. So now I am next to my work. I have my digital marketing company right now. So and I'm still building it.
And the URL for that is levigomez.com.
Yeah, levigomez.com.
Yeah, perfect.
So registered in Belgium as an official company. So yeah, it's going slowly. A lot of hurdles, but you know, it's the journey, and I'm loving it. So.
And is it just you then with the company, or do you have staff as well?
No, it's just a one-man company.
Are you looking to do that? And if so, are you going down the route of like remote workers?
You know, I'm still figuring out because I'm now rebranding. I started completely wrong.
Yeah, but I think that's how everybody starts, and then you learn. And mistakes are the best education you ever make, 100%. To be honest.
100%. Yeah, because I'm not from a family that is entrepreneurial, so I had to learn a lot of stuff. But I know which direction I want to go. So now I'm in the affiliate marketing side. I already helped some startups right now, putting up their websites, you know, helping them more with the digital marketing stuff. So that is going to be my niche a little bit, you know, new startups and people that are searching for better possibilities or want to start a business but don't know what. I think affiliate marketing is
it is, and I think that's the beauty, is you've identified the audience. Obviously, that's marketing 101. Who am I talking to? So if I know who am I talking to, I can make sure there's the right marketing message out there, i.e. the content, which affiliate marketers do automatically off the bat. But then you can amplify it. You can then start selling other services. Then more so, if it's only just getting recognition for what you do in what you want to be known for. But yeah, making money online. So do you educate them then about how they can make money online?
Yeah, so you know, my stick is like I said in the beginning that we started. So what's on my camera? Okay, you know, 50% of the tools is already the work, and you know as well as I know that everything if you do online you have to have tools. So I start there.
Yeah,
and then I move forward, and then I can choose whatever niche or whatever industry they want to go into. But if they're going to do something online, tools is 100% is 100% needed. So that's something that I start with, and so I will learn step by step how they can move further.
Okay, so let me pull that a little bit apart because there was a lot you disseminated there. So obviously you educate them to sort of niches that they could go in. Is that something that you will use your experience for and educate them? This could be more beneficial in that, like, you know, like Matt Dickerty says, like health, wealth, and relationships, they're more, you know, more valuable as well, but harder to penetrate. Or do you align them to where their passions are? And that could be anything from, you know, furniture restoration to, you know, baking, for all we know.
If I talk to people and I say, "Yeah, you know, I want to start something for myself, look where your passion is. What's the thing that you love the most to do, and then you can monetize it, building your online marketing system next to it. So yeah,
And then obviously when you tell them that you can monetize it, do you show them all the different avenues that you can make money
yeah,
from?
yeah,
You know, so obviously informational ads, lead generation, which is something I'm
yeah.
experimenting with a lot at the moment.
Hmm.
Commissions, you know, the dreaded Amazon as much as sometimes. But then there's other ways. Obviously, you could do drop shipping. You know, it's experimenting with all the different ways to see what fits a particular niche.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what I do, I have a platform that I work with, and that's also have an affiliate program next to it. And because it's already a tool, it's
Yeah.
already you're already in affiliate marketing also, so you can use both. So
Okay.
so that's that I'm pushing there. And then after that, they can see what I can do. They can do lead generation. Because myself right now, I'm also going to take a course for paid advertising,
Right.
because I know I'm missing a little piece of the puzzle, and that's the last piece.
I
So
think all affiliate marketers are like that. We always feel that we're never doing enough. There's never enough content there. And you suddenly, the realization is you suddenly realize there's so much more money on the table and you
oh,
just
a
can't
lot.
grab it enough or
Yeah,
quick enough. And it's not, you do that from a point of view of greed. It's that sudden, you have that euphoric moment and realize, oh my gosh, there's a way to earn money beyond 9 to 5. And
yes,
there's so much ways I can expand this in a niche. And
yeah,
I mean, that was the light bulb moment for me. And hats off to Adam Smith from Niche Website Builders, who I know quite well. He
hmm,
gave me the necessary push to say, yeah, and you've been doing marketing, but you know what? You need to get into affiliate marketing. And it wasn't until I, took on the first site and I had to go at it. I didn't really go at it, with any sort of drive or intention. I just thought, let's experiment. Everything I do in marketing is experimenting one way or another.
yeah,
But I was amazed then when stuff started to rank. And then obviously I linked it in with the Zoic platform and then started seeing a small revenue in there. And I'm just thinking the light bulb moment went on. This is
yeah,
how companies make money online.
yep,
And you're thinking they're putting all this time and energy in that's costing them writing informational content. And you're thinking, but how do they make real money? Not pocket money, real money. And then you get that light bulb moment and you see, oh, they can do this and they can do that. And then you realize one website can have multiple income streams and it's just scale it. And when I had that moment, which was about 3 years ago, I was like, oh wow, why wasn't I doing this sooner?
well, it wasn't mainstream yet, so
No,
that's why
no, no,
you.
no. I mean, there's more people talking about it now. Credit to you, credit to many others out there, like Carl Broadbent, who just did his affiliate gathering.
Mhm.
Alex Cooper, who talks about it. Emilia Gardner, Niche Safari. There's so many people out there. Doug Cunningham. And I'm like you, trying to digest all these YouTube videos and these series and glean the little nuggets because there's so many out there talking common sense. Because for me, it's like the mashup between marketing and SEO
Yeah,
that's been going on for years, and that fusion really hasn't become that tight until a few years ago. I would
yeah,
say about 2, 3 years ago, COVID sort of expedited it
yeah.
purely because people are like, what do I do now? Well, I can't go into work and I can't talk to my audience. I have to go online. How am I going to make this magic work? And it does feel like magic some days.
And for how long are you really making videos? Because there are a lot of people that are afraid of making videos.
I started the YouTube channel about a year ago. It was my
Wow, a
goal in
year ago?
2021. Yeah, 2021, I set a goal. I try and, like everything, sit down Christmas. What am I going to do for the year? I do try and plan a bit more strategically throughout the year, but Christmas gives me all that overview. And I thought, well, I've got to do videos at long last. I had a good friend, Christopher Jones, who teaches media, and he gave me the heads up about how to use DaVinci and sort of microphone sound positioning. Like I've got the custom soundboards on, so hopefully sounds not too bad. The lighting bits and pieces, it's
Mhm.
slowly coming, but I'm enjoying the journey. And I think that's really what resonates for anybody online trying to make money, is you suddenly realize this isn't, you can do it quick when you get to a scale, but that first step is always the most interesting, because you suddenly realize when you earn that first dollar or $5, and then you think, oh man, that come about by doing some writing up and hopefully on something you're passionate about. And then you start building that out in and replicating and scaling it. You suddenly realize, oh my God, there's so much more I can do here. I need to record this journey. So what I wanted to do, and I've noticed it because I was following many other affiliates, is I wanted to document my journey from ground zero. Brand new domain, brand new website, nothing bought, nothing, no content writers, because I've used content writers previously, more so for
Okay.
clients, because I run my own agency as well.
Mhm.
But I decided I wanted to be true to people who like me, coming from a full-time career and doing this part-time. Like very much you said earlier
Yeah.
about there being, for the newbie, the beginner, if I can do it, you can do it. So my pretense is, and it's genuine, I do it in the evenings and one day on the weekend. I try and hold true to writing a blog a day. That's the very least, bare minimum. I do use tools, and we'll talk about some tools now in a minute.
Yep. Yes, we do.
I set a realistic budget because I do think you have to have the seriousness to say, right, I'm going to spend £200 to £250 a month. That's not a big ask, but it's enough to say, right, I can afford these tools. It's really about creating the habits. The
Yeah.
habits of turning up every day and writing content. And it does seem tedious sometimes when you're on some of these niches because you think, I'm sure I've written this. But you're finding new ways to write the same content sometimes, and there's an art in that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I thought, right, that's the genuine purpose of I'm holding myself accountable by doing it month in, month out. And last month was my first month I made some decent money.
Awesome.
On two of the sites that I'm doing constantly all the time.
Awesome.
Predominantly on one, but the other one is more slow burner because it's in the YMYL industry. It was luck I chose that by any stretch of imagination, as was the first one. There was no strategic planning in that. It's just the first one was all about knotweed, which I've got in my garden. And I thought, right, okay, I'll write about that. I can learn about it and I can get rid of it. So I was looking for a solution to the problem to start with. And I thought, okay, Adam had said, right, get on, do an affiliate site. And I thought, all right, I'll make a site. But the education I've got from it, the enlightenment, is you suddenly realize what's connecting with the target audience.
Yeah.
That it's having a conversation, but not knowing the words that people are speaking. And that's very much the art of affiliate marketing. It's looking at the data and thinking, so what's engaging with them? And I am a data person. I do love data by all accounts.
Yeah, I saw it on your YouTube channel. You got a lot of data.
Yeah, I do like crunching the number, but I try and be realistic, bring a lot in, but keep the overview. Where are we going? What are we doing? And I do take Doug Cunningham's approach sometimes, is literally just throw a lot of content out there, see what sticks, and then work from it.
Yeah, what worked for me and what I'm working on is I know everyone that's buys something or does something in their life is emotional. And I figure out that a lot of marketers are playing on that emotion. And if you are genuine and you show yourself, people are going to resonate that, and they will connect with you. So I think that's very
passion
important
sells a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump on the tools then. Let's get a better perspective for those who are watching this now, what they can gain some nuggets from you. So predominantly, I presume that you're making most of these websites on WordPress. Okay, so you've probably got a raft of plugins you would or wouldn't recommend.
Oh no, I don't build nothing on WordPress.
Don't you? Right. Okay. So what platforms do you prefer then?
I've got one platform, and that calls Builderall, and I've built everything on it. So I build there my funnels on. I build there my websites on. I can build chatbots. I can build videos. I can do that on there. A lot of stuff. It's a platform with all the applications that you have to need as a digital marketer. So that's and I'm in love, and I'm also an affiliate of that. So I'm using that also as an affiliate option for people that are connecting with me.
Oh no, perfect. Yeah, it's finding your go-to tool and then using it extensively.
I'm using,
the problem is, more so in our industry, shiny object syndrome. We see so many tools, and I think, oh, that's interesting. And I've got loads of them. And every time I watch a stream and somebody mentions something, I go and check it out. And I think, never heard of that one before. And then you look at it and realize, oh my, this does this and this does that. But sometimes you do discover really good tools and think that is awesome.
Yeah, but the reason that I chose for Builderall is because when I started, you had WordPress, But the
Yeah.
first time that I'm a geek. I love technology. I'm learning things pretty fast. But WordPress was so difficult for me because you had all those different plugins and
Yeah.
Elementor it was really hard to go to and navigate to.
Yeah.
So I was approached to someone that said, "Hey, listen, if you want to build a website, I know a platform." So
Yeah.
Buildwall is not that old. I think 4 or 5 years old.
Yes.
And when I came on there and I see how easy it was with drag and drop
Yeah.
and all the application that he already had. So it already had an auto email responder. It had it. It had a funnel builder. So I was hooked. So and it was more easier for me to work. And since that day, I'm using it, and it's working pretty fine for me.
Yeah, that's the art, I think,
Yeah.
sometimes. I mean, I made the fateful mistake. The first site I did, I built it on Elementor. And then Ezoic then had kittens, as it would, and said, no, this, it's okay, but you know what? It's just too slow. So I
Yeah.
spent a long month then switching it out, and I went with Cadence because WordPress I don't mind.
Hmm.
I've worked with lots of other platforms, but it's
Hmm.
kind of okay. But I stripped it down, stripped it right down, put it into Cadence. Do like Cadence, and I will be doing some videos on that in time, purely because I
Okay.
like dynamic data as well. So
Okay.
that's
Awesome.
kind of my bag, to be honest.
Hmm.
But it was a case of simplicity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's that realization that while you still want to give the user the experience, the UX, you also need to get past the gatekeepers first, which are the search engines. So you need speed, simplicity. And it was, as I said, that realization that I had that all we're selling here is the information.
Yeah.
Which is, when you think about it, it's common sense. Is what the internet is. It's
Yeah.
just one library of information. You go into the search query box and you put any sort of question in there, which is like the PAA that people also ask. And it's like, yeah, people are asking this and people are asking that. And I think, yeah, well, why don't I just keep it that simple and write about what people are asking for? Do I need fancy animation, pretty design, and all that? And the answer is no. It's a must have and a nice to have. And it's when I had that sort of realization, I stripped the website right down completely. And it made a big difference, not just in the user experience, but also the speed and the
Yeah.
more traffic coming on. I do think there's a balance to be played, to be honest, to make sure that you're still coming on to a fairly nicely designed website
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
serve the information, but
Hmm.
it's predominantly the information is the key ingredients there. Now,
Yeah. Yeah. That's absolutely.
so
So
what third-party tools do you use then?
third-party tools. So I'm also using not that long ago. I used Descript for my
Right.
content
Yeah.
because I was searching for applications for captions,
Yeah.
and when I found that software, it already makes the whole transcript. It generates the transcript, and you can put the subtitles on it. So
Right.
I was hooked. So now for all my content, all for small videos, big videos, and you can also resize and crop your videos for
Right.
TikTok or for Instagram,
Yeah.
and it's working perfectly. So
I
that's
think you're
one.
further down the journey than me. Um,
No, because if it
I
becomes
haven't got that far. I haven't got that far. I mean, I've heard of Discret, but I've never used it. So,
it's so easy to use, so
right.
easy to use. You really have to try it out
And I
because
think that is the takeaway, is that time is the issue for all of us.
yes,
The first
100%.
marketing manager I ever worked alongside used to say it all the time, we're all time poor. We're
Yeah,
all trying to do more with less time.
yeah,
So affiliate marketing is exactly like that. It's you trying to knock out however many blogs, but you want them to be quality, but you also know it's a volume game as well. And it's finding the tools that are going to simplify that process and
yeah.
get things done.
Another tool that I also use, but I think you use it also, is Canva for all the
Right.
images. It's
Yeah,
a
and I think
great, great
Canva's
way to.
come leaps and bounds in the last couple of
Yeah,
years. Leaps and
a
bounds.
lot, a
I don't
lot.
think there's anybody I don't know except me. I don't use it, and I'll tell you why. Is because I come from a design background, and I learned
Hey,
many years ago, 20 odd years ago, Corel Draw. So I still like. I can do whatever I need to do in Corel. So I've always kept up with my license there. I might do videos on that sometime, but I just think, nah.
hey, that's good
It's a
content. You have to
small.
do it.
I think realistically, knowing how people's minds work these days, convenience and logistics are the two driving factors.
Yeah.
And Canva, hats off to them, have really nailed that on the head. you know, doing videos and backgrounds and
Yeah.
thumbnails. And I see so many people can do it in, you know, who aren't graphic designers, but they can just do it like in 5 minutes.
I had to learn everything I had to learn. So
Yeah,
I'm still playing with Photoshop right now and Illustrator.
right.
It's going pretty good, but I had a really steep learning curve to
Yes,
learn
yeah.
that. So,
And
but
the thing is, like, from your point of view, you're a rounded marketer by all accounts, meaning you're creating the content, you're creating the platforms, you're doing the videos, you're doing the editing, then you're doing the graphic design, and
yeah.
it's suddenly you have that realization of, wow, there is a lot of skills I've upskilled, and I do admire how many skills people have got without realizing it.
Yeah, but I also think it's coming from the direction that you want to go. You know, if you have a
Yes,
certain goal you want to go to, you're going to try anything and to do anything to get that goal. So that's my how I see things. You know, if I want something, I have to learn it. So yeah,
yes,
you have to go through it. And if it doesn't work, there are a lot of other people that can help you out. But
yeah,
if you can
true,
do a lot
true.
of things yourself at the in the
Well,
from the start,
streams like this, and to
yeah,
be fair, there are so many good streams out there these days, and
oh, so a lot.
they're growing. It's literally my number one go to has been YouTube and LinkedIn, just to
Hey,
find out and just go. And people are so inviting when it comes to giving the answers, which is
yeah.
really nice because they're on their own journey. They've just learned something along that journey that they're happy to impart. And it's nice to get to the point that when they, you know, like they come to do the end of month roundup and they say they're earning this sort of money, I don't see that as a point of view they're bragging or anything. They're inspiring.
Yeah.
They're educating the fools like me who believed in working hard, getting good qualifications, career development. I still do an element of that, believe it or not. But HMRC, remind you now again, you're a minion. So yeah, it's nice to see that online is way more scalable, and
Way more.
it gives so much more in return. You do need
Yeah.
to be crafting, you know, it is an art. I do believe it's an art that you master, but there are so many ways you can go off to earn money. And I don't think money's just the goal. Money's the byproduct of the journey you're traveling.
It's how do you say that in English? It's uh it's a tool. Money is a tool. That's it.
It is.
That's it. Because with money you can do things, you know. And
It's the reward for having done something good.
yes,
If you've
yes,
done something good, hopefully you've enjoyed it, i.e., you've made a website, you've made content, you've done a podcast, you've done a series on videos. And in this day and age now, you do get rewarded for it.
yeah. And of course, that's why I want to teach people also about affiliate marketing and let them know that that's a real good thing in their life and in this time right now, because you have the obligation that you can help other people, and
Yeah,
people will compensate you for that.
they
And
will. They will, yeah.
that can be in a lot of amount. It can be small, it can be big, but it's rewarding. You know,
And it,
you didn't think about yourself. You know, and I think
no,
that's
no, and I think some of those that have achieved, you know, notoriety from it, and obviously the you know the money that goes alongside it, credit to them.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say they've come from a background of marketing, yet they are
No.
efficient marketers.
Mhm.
They've discovered what really matters. You've got something credible to talk about, and then you just need to be visible with it. Be that TikTok, YouTube, or whatever platform you've chosen, or a combination if you've got the time. And I think that's where, for me now, the jumping on the bandwagon many years down the road, starting to do some video. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the process more than I'm just creating content and analyzing it and
Mhm.
developing an audience. I'm
Mhm.
kind of thinking I'm doing this more for me than I'm doing it for anyone else as it
Yeah,
stands at the moment. I'm
of
sure
course.
that will shift in time because then it becomes more strategic and it's more of a brand and it earns money. But for the moment, I can literally wake up in a day and say, right, today I'm going to do this and I'm going to record that. And I quite enjoy that flavor of just creativity, which
Yeah,
is nice.
but I will help you out with your content because you already have content, and with that
Yes.
content that you already have, you can do. They have the new word for it. Um, oh, I can't get on a word right now, but you can distribute it on all the platform at once because you already have the content. You only have to know how to do that. So
Yeah.
maybe in time
All
we
right.
will talk about it.
We definitely have a deeper conversation there because it is a case of create one piece of content and push it out.
Yeah,
Very much Gary Vaynerchuk talks about that.
yeah,
Create it and then push it out. He says like 50, 80 platforms where possible.
yeah. 50 and then 60 pieces of content.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean,
I've done it. I've done the test for the last 2 months, and
yeah.
I have to give him credit. He's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't done tests as long as that. I do try and do small tests all the time, and I
Yeah.
record them. I use Trello as my little tool to record what I've done and
Hmm.
on what date.
Hmm.
But like I've started doing that more and more now on LinkedIn, for instance,
Yeah.
and noticing that if I do it within a couple of posts, literally first thing in the morning from 8 to 11, I'm getting a lot more traction.
Yeah.
And also then the style of content makes the difference as well.
Yeah.
It's never learning curve.
But because I always test a little bit on LinkedIn, but I've seen that they love more writing content, this
Yeah,
more road content than
yeah,
any video or audio. That's
yeah.
something I discovered.
Yeah,
I'm
but
right or not?
but it's nice to have the blend. I think the
Yeah,
blend
of
is the
course,
key
of course, of course.
because, like, I mean, obviously you've got the Google Core update that's
Hmm.
come to an end, I believe, at the moment, and that's obviously decimated quite a few sites. But that's the volatility of the market. I
Yeah,
think the takeaway for anybody going forward is you don't put all your eggs in one basket. I know that's very cliched, but the
you're right.
reality is you know you need to spread your content across different types of platforms. You know you need different types of content as well. Explainer videos, quotes, going in depth, or just simple infographics and stuff like that. Having that varied amount of content gives you, I think, longevity, because
Yeah,
it'll always be a volatile market. The
yeah.
search engines, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, or Google itself, they're all running some sort of algorithm to constantly try and make sure the best is always rising to the top.
Well, I think that TikTok got that covered. They're doing a really good job of that.
I
If you
do
see,
I do follow quite a few on TikTok,
yeah.
mainly in DIY because that's a side passion.
Mhm.
Uh, but I haven't been tempted onto TikTok yet. Not
Yeah.
probably because of time.
Don't wait too long, Andy. Don't wait too long.
No, I know,
Keep
I know,
going
I know.
fast because
So
TikTok is
okay,
now
if you're on
where
TikTok, then
hmm?
the engagement's pretty good there, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you then translate that value across into, say, your assets?
So you can direct them. So it's the same thing that you're building a funnel. It's the
Right.
same way. You just have to give them a car. Um, how you say it in English? Sorry, English is not my native language.
No,
So
no, that's fine. It's fine.
sometimes sometimes
So
I have
what
to.
things like URLs in order to put them in there to redirect them back to, say, like your
Yeah, or
website?
CTA. You have to give them a CTA so we can redirect them there. But the thing on TikTok is you first have to create a lot of following, and when you have a
Right.
following, you have the option to put
Yeah.
there a link in there or to put an email address. So you have to work on that. But you have to have them give me a CTA in the video, and then they will go. So a week ago, I was approached by a guy. I think it's a young guy, about 19 or 20 years old. He said, "Yeah, you're talking about affiliate marketing. I want to learn that." Oh, no problem. And he sent
Yeah.
me a message, a private message. So I emailed him, I talked with him, and so I got in contact with him. So, you know,
Nice. Yeah, yeah. So there's
just
opportunities, leads
yeah,
come from it then as well, which is
yeah, yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So okay, give me a flavor of how your day is then, the structure of your day,
My
because it sounds
day.
like you're,
Wow.
you're doing 1,001 things.
I have
A
a lot
lot
of
more than
stuff.
me.
No, so right now, what I said, I'm rebuilding my company right now. So I'm doing uh, um, um, let me think about it for a second. Oh yeah, rebranding my company.
Right.
So what I do in the morning, I stand up because that's the freedom I have. I stand up with my wife. We have some breakfast. I'm going into my office and then I'm going to see just like you what I'm going to do. So today I'm busy building a new advertising video.
Right.
So doing is the content, write the content down, talk about it, look at it again, change some things, do some videos, check if it's all right, and if that's done, I make it. I will do video editing, and that's done. And then I'll move to the next step. So tomorrow I'm going to work on my funnel.
Right.
So it's a different thing. It's just like I wake up and
Every
think,
day's
okay,
got variety.
yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. My
Yeah.
whole goal is within 2 or 3 weeks that my funnel is ready, that my emails are ready, that everything is ready and so I can push it out and launch it. Because the problem that I had in the start that I was starting is everyone is talking about you have to have a website, So
Yeah.
I put a lot of time and effort in my website, but it doesn't give me the results that I wanted.
Right.
So I went back to a few of my peers and talked with them, and they said, no, the first thing you have to do in marketing, the first thing that you have to do is know your niche and then build your funnel. If that's
Yeah.
ready and you have your email sequence ready and that's ready, then you can move forward and work on your website. But then you already have something that you can get people, yeah, you can some
Which
leads
makes sense.
to you and build your community.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm working. So I'm now.
Which is the smart approach. The difficulty is passion takes over sometimes. We want to get on with what interests you,
Yeah,
not necessarily the audience.
yeah,
I've been guilty of that as well. I do have my own websites, and I like tinkering on those ones, to be honest.
yeah.
You know, they do get a little audience, but
Hmm.
they're long-term goals. They're not part of the
Hmm.
funnel. They're
Hmm.
there for personal pleasure, not for, you know, because that's really
Fine.
where I want to dump my knowledge, my experience, do my tests, talk about case studies, and that's outside of really what makes me money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's difficult. I don't know if you experience it a little bit. Do you have like the devil and the angel sitting on your head, so
Oh
on your
man,
shoulder sometimes
all the
saying,
time,
come on, Gomez, get on with this, you should be doing this today?
all the time, all the
I have
time,
that as well.
all the time. And I have already also had some difficulty with the shiny object syndrome. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and
So
you know
how do you
people
keep
decide.
focused then?
Hmm?
How do you keep focused then when you're
How I
working those
keep
long
focused
hours day in, day out?
because I have a goal and I want to get to the goal,
Right.
and you know, and that's keep me busy. And I have a lot of big willpower.
Yeah.
Always have. And I'm a person that if I want starting something I want to finish it, and it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, because
Yeah.
maybe this is a little bit corny, but I think this really is a marathon, you know. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
everything
Without
in
doubt.
life has a learning curve. So
And you
this
don't get
comes with it.
distracted too easily?
No, because luckily I also have a man cave like you, so I can lock
Yeah.
myself up, you know, and I disconnect my phone, you know, and I will get focused on the one thing that I'm busy with, you know.
Yeah, and that does make a massive difference.
And
Can I be
that
so
works for me.
can I be as cheeky to ask what is your goal, or do you want to share
My
that?
goal, yeah, my goal. I got, man, I got a lot of goals. No, my first goal is to build my company and to be independent. That's my number one goal.
Yeah.
So, and you know, as good as I know, going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But my goal is within now and 7 years that I have my company totally independent, and I can live on that. That's my goal.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I can
which is
provide.
realistic. It's nice to aspire to
Yeah,
something genuinely. You know,
yeah.
I think unfortunately a lot of people who do any sort of marketing affiliate as well, it's a bit of a chaos approach
Yeah,
until you really start seeing the wood for the trees, as it were,
yeah.
and then you start then strategizing, like you mentioned earlier, having a funnel. I mean,
Yeah.
I've tried to nail that down a couple of times for me. I've got a mind's eye for it, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't say I've got a blueprint for it. But
Okay.
I'm conscious I'm working in the right direction.
But what?
I kind of look at it like if I was going from point A to point B on a line,
Yeah.
I'm slowly leaning more towards
But
into
you know,
what I
it's
want to
going
do.
like this. It's going like this.
Yeah,
So don't worry about it. You know. But
yeah.
what's your goal? Is it more for lead generation, or are you people give people courses, or do you want to coach people? What's your objective?
I think there's the difficulty is there's so much you could do.
Yeah.
Um, I keep an open mind. I think that's first and foremost. Yes, I'd like to do a course, but then I think, who am I to probably do a course? And I do actually teach. I have done that for a number of years, but
Wow.
I
You
go
have.
in digital marketing and social media, which I'm qualified in, believe it or not. But it's not necessarily what I want to be known for.
Okay.
For me, I want to be known, and this is very selfish, and I think goals have to be selfish to be fulfilled
Hundred
when you're
percent.
going to plug away for thousands of hours of it. I love data, and I love the fusion of data and marketing, which does incorporate a lot of SEO. But I think that synergy between data and marketing and SEO is really relevant to any brand.
Hundred
And I
percent.
like digging in and finding out what's actually happening. What not necessarily, I mean, I've dealt with numerous clients for years, is that they will tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the data, and the data will tell you a different story.
Differently.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
between the two, you try and work out what is the best approach. That's the art. That's something I like, because then you get and it's not to diminish what the client's telling you. That's just as important, because they're telling you other things the data won't tell you. They're telling you like the goal, the strategy, what they want to achieve, where they want to get, but the data is telling you where you are right now and what you've done previously, and therefore it's balancing the books.
Yeah.
So I kind of think maybe I'm a digital accountant, which is not a sexy title in any way, shape,
Well,
or form.
and yeah, I have to tell you, man, I admire that, because data is one important aspect in everything that we do online. So it's difficult for people to set the emotion and
Yeah,
reality
yeah.
for, apart from each other. So I think that's the thing. But you're right, but both are important.
Yeah, I mean, circling back to what you were on about goals, I think from my point of view, it's like, half the rhyme of the reason doing the YouTube and keeping myself accountable is I can see some of the essential figures of what I think is relevant, not just to me, but to the audience, because it's pertinent. And I've seen it on
Hmm.
other channels. It gives
Hmm.
me an idea of, am I moving forward? And am I moving forward with some sort of progress? So bigger picture, I always joke to people. I'd say I'd like to dip my toe in my pool, sitting in my villa, retired. And there's only two things I need to do in a day. One is check the bank balance, and the second one is talk to the VA and tell them get on with the content writers.
Yeah.
but as much as I joke, you know what? That could be a reality. It is possible, because there are people living that lifestyle now. And whilst that may sound a bit big-headed and a bit blasé, I like what I do at the moment as well, between working with Cultec as a client, because we've got some challenges on there with different projects. But then I
Hmm.
also like where I am with the teaching. And funny enough, somebody asked me the other day, why do I teach? Because it isn't for the money, and it
Hmm.
does give a lot of headaches in the sense of paperwork.
Yeah.
But what I've also come to realize is I'm the most interactive learner in the room.
Oh, but that's awesome.
And I get the opportunity to talk to all these brands, and because it's business owners all the way down to apprentices, and I
Okay.
get to quiz them on any sort of question, and I can pry in where most people would tell you to jog on. And I find that intriguing, because it's interesting to see how people approach problems in different ways. And I think this is exactly the same when it comes to affiliate marketing, is that some people just go hard and heavy, informational content, ads, that's the only way for me. Other people will do an element of Amazon, or they look for other affiliate
Yeah.
programs.
Hmm.
I'm currently doing all of those, but I'm also experimenting quite heavily in lead generation. I'm finding that quite a challenge, because you have to develop relationships, but likewise it can be lucrative. And I've got one friend who does very well out of it.
Hmm.
But again, it's like, I think very much something you said earlier. If you don't try it and experiment and go outside
Yeah.
your comfort zone, how
Hmm.
would you know?
You won't know.
No, no.
And that's
So
and that's that's and that's what's stopping a lot of people, because
So
they
going,
don't.
going out of your comfort zone a little bit, obviously you've
Mhm.
got the way that you use and set up the website, and obviously the information there. Do you use any sort of AI writing tools at the moment, which you
Not
like on?
yet, but not yet, because I didn't test it already, and not yet, but I'm going to do it, because within 2 weeks I'm going to start with my advertising course, and I
Right.
think I really going to need it, to cut in the time,
Yes. Yeah.
so because time saving. So I talked with one of my peers, and he already gave me a link to check it out, and
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I have to check it out first before I have an opinion on it. But I think I
Yeah.
heard a
Yeah.
lot of people that are really satisfied about it, they are really positive about it. So I will
Yeah.
see.
It
And
does
you?
seem a bit controversial at the moment,
Yeah.
whether you should or shouldn't use it. I think everything really harks back to Google when they did the EAT
Hmm.
algorithm in 2018, the expertise, authority, and trust, is that
Hmm.
if you use good common sense, and your aim or your intent is always to serve your audience with the best possible content you've got, how you
Hmm.
get there shouldn't make a difference.
No.
And I just see that AI is a rung on the ladder. It's not the whole ladder. You'll
No.
use
No.
it
No.
to
No. No.
do
No.
some sort
No.
of research and obviously get some body copy together, but then really your passion, your individual tone of voice is the thing that really makes it stand out apart.
100%. But people are going to know. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
if you're already making content online, you make videos. People are knowing who you are, and if you put the content aside and it's totally different, people are going to know. So you already also always have to put your own touch on it.
yeah. And
Always.
I think as human beings, we're blessed like that. We
Yeah.
all we all we all bring a personality. lovely or otherwise, to a party. but then that's what makes the the beauty of watching videos, and then they stand up, they do connect to different people. You're not going to be everything to everyone, but for your community, I can't remember the guy who mentioned it before, your 1,000 loyal readers. Those are
Yeah.
the ones you want. I can't forget his name at the moment, but he's right. Is
Yeah.
that, like you were on about funnels earlier, you're getting a lot of people in through the top, but some will, they just
Yeah, they drop
they
off.
wander across your channel.
Yeah.
They wander
Yeah.
across your content. That's
Yeah.
always going to happen. And don't get me wrong, I'm blessed when that does, because a click is worth something these days. But it's how you try and then turn that click into engagement, and then turn them from a one-time viewer or reader to somebody who becomes an advocate. That's the real art. And
Yes.
I do commend all affiliate marketers, or marketers per se, whether they realize it or not, is that there's an art, there's a game here to master, and it does take a long
100%.
time to really master it.
Yes, it's not something that comes by easy. You have to work at it, and you have to. But everything in life, you have to do it so often that
Yeah,
it comes.
and
It comes
it's
to
based on a lot
natural.
of failures as well.
Yeah, a lot of. Hey, but that's something that you have. People don't know that, and people don't realize it. You have to make a lot of huge mistakes to
Yes,
get better and improve yourself, and
yeah,
that's something that helped me all my life. So I'm not afraid of that. That's why I wasn't afraid to step in this industry,
yeah,
because I had nothing with marketing, nothing, zilch. I learned
yeah.
everything from scratch, but because I have a good goal and I know where it's going to take me, I think let's give it a shot and we'll see what's going to happen. And we're now
But I
2 years further and it's going well. So
but I think that's the reality, is that most people come to appreciate what marketing is when you do it, not you
yes,
read about it.
no,
Walking the walk rather than talking the talk
yeah,
does make all the difference. I've realized that when it comes to affiliate, is that suddenly how you structure content and then have the structure introduce the problem, reinforce it, and give a call to action, as you mentioned earlier. There is an art to writing those sort of recipes and templates,
yeah,
be it a buyer's guide, a product guide, informational ad, listicle, and then trying to then balance it comfortably on a website, so it's not all too much this or all too much that, because obviously the algorithms will come and spank you somewhere down the road otherwise. But it's genuinely trying to serve your reader with something that is interesting. And I did it more last year than I've done this year, to be hand on heart. I did a lot of infographics on
yeah.
one of my affiliate sites,
Hmm.
because I like, as I said, I like using Corel, but I also thought it was a great way of presenting the particular niche I was in. And I thought that might resonate. They rank okay, but I also think that if nothing, sometimes content is just bedded down for the search engines. They can see a balance.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what, coming back to that EAT policy, get in that common sense approach, serving your audience with true intent to make something better, not just to cash in on them, I think will stand the longevity.
Well, I'm going to say to you, eventually, if you're not genuine, like I said, people are going to notice it
Yeah,
in further time, because there's one thing that people forget: internet exposes everything,
true,
everything,
true, true.
everything. So
Yeah,
you
even
can.
how young I am.
Well, tell me.
I'm post editing this, but yeah,
But
no,
no,
you're absolutely right. Yeah,
yeah,
I think that you can call people out a lot more these days, in the sense of there's honesty. If you're producing the content and then you're recording the content, you
yeah,
get to know the person. Yes, they're the other side of the camera, but I mean, like I've done it solid for probably the last 5 years. So many channels and people I've followed as a loyal subscriber, but they have given me so much knowledge. And it's nice
wow,
then. Like, I went to the affiliate gathering up in York this year, and it
yeah. I
was
saw the
really
video.
nice
I
to,
saw your video on your channel.
yeah, and I gotta be honest, I met some of my heroes, and I know that probably sounds pathetic to some people, but
No,
genuinely, these are people that inspired me to do something, and I think that's really the essence of human nature. Is that we born, we
100%.
procreate, we die. That's it in a simple evolutionary state. But somewhere in between, we fill our time. And I think if you follow other people that interest you, and then that gives you the catalyst to actually do something yourself, I think that's all we can be, to be honest, as a human species.
I think, and that's also that I want to give with the audience. If they decided and they are inspired to go in affiliate marketing, the best
Yeah.
thing that you can do is get in the community, you know, and get people that
Oh,
are
God,
doing this every
yeah.
day. Because I have the opportunity that I'm using that platform, but at that platform there are a lot of experienced marketers, and every Friday they invited me to come every Friday on their mastermind, and you learn so much, so
Yeah,
much,
it is.
so much, you know. Uh, Before that I did everything on my own, and in a span of time you're going to lose a little bit of motivation, you know. Things are going to getting harder, but if you're always in that space with those people, so much value
It
there.
is. It is. It's insightful because their results spur you on to do your own results.
Yes.
'Cause you know, there's many long, tedious hours we plugging away at this. More so when you get in the zone. But yeah, it's nice then when you get to the end of something and you see, I created that.
Yeah.
It is a creative process, even
Yeah.
just writing content or shooting a video. So very much a creative process, and being proud of it, even if it's not perfect. I could do better lighting, I could do better sound, better, better graphics, better editing. I could have done more research. You can always make things better. But I think if you start here, and I think Ali Abdul talks about it a lot, get started, get good, and then get smart.
Yeah.
And it's being on that journey to get started. And I think that's half the battle is
Yeah.
getting started, creating the habits
It's
that every
always,
day you're writing something
you
or you're
know,
shooting a video.
you know that they also say they compare it with if you're going to work out, you know,
Yes,
the
it is
first step to do it, that's the hardest step.
the
But if
hardest
you
step.
are
Yeah.
already in it, it's going to get easier and easier because you're
Yeah.
already in it. But the first step is always difficult in everything in life.
But you make
So
those small little habits,
yeah.
and those accumulate over time.
Yeah.
And it's that accumulation is where you see the win. And
Yeah.
it was literally the first site I did it solid for 3 months, and I thought, okay, I'll get on with it. And then I forgot about it. And then I had an email of somebody saying I was using an image that was theirs and I shouldn't have used it, which was copyright. And I know better than that, but it was the only image on the internet for this particular thing, the only one. But they were
Really?
lovely, and they turned around and they said, "It's typical. We have this all the time. Can you just kindly remove it?" Of course, I will. No question about it. It took me a long time to design my own to replace it. But then I thought, how did that conversation come about? So I
Yeah.
dug into the data at the time, and then I was amazed. I was ranking for this and ranking for that, and I thought it's the kick I needed to get on with it. So I did from that point on. Then I did a blog every night,
Hmm.
and I've just seen it steadily grow and grow and grow. And what excites me is knowing what it could be in 6 months' time and
Yeah.
12 months' time. You know, and it's
100%.
not about how much value it's got or how much it's earning. It's basically how big can I grow this thing because it's my baby.
Yeah. It's your
It's the
baby.
baby. It's the baby I wanted.
But Andy, don't get emotional on it. Don't get emotional
Well,
because
no, 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 no. I mean, yeah, my partner says that. She says, "All right, she's blogging tonight, and I don't see her until like 10 o'clock. Come up from the man cave," and she knows there's two main topics I'm writing, and she knows that they are kind of personal to me in the sense I enjoy them,
yeah, yeah,
but they are businesses. I
yeah,
get that. Yeah, I get that. But I'm not. But the thing is, it comes back to that eat thing, that intent. My intent is never just to build it up and flip it for the money. My intent was to build something up I'm enjoying, and if there's different ways to build that content, how-to guides, buyers guides, product reviews, and I want to do it all.
yeah,
I want to experience the taste. It's like the closest analogy you can have is that you come to the meal and I want to taste everything on the banquet, because then I'll know what I liked and what I didn't
yeah,
like.
yeah. That's
So
right.
I'm a greedy bugger, is what I'm saying.
Hey, but that's good. That's good. So you know, hey, you have more choice in life. You know.
More
Uh,
choice, yeah, definitely more choice. But also the skills you learn with it are
that's
interesting.
incredible. That's
It is,
incredible.
yeah. And I think, if there's only one takeaway for the people watching this today is just getting started in something you're passionate about and
Hmm.
just having a go. It doesn't have to cost the earth because there are so many cheap hostings and platforms these days. But
Wow.
just literally putting something out there that will connect with your audience and seeing it grow, and you've created something. And
Yeah,
yes, it's
100%.
digital, but even in digital, it's we're in a wonderful time of obviously where
This
Web
is
three will is
best time. This is the
it
best
is the
time
best
you're
time.
in.
We are seeing exponential growth, and I just think that will continue for many years to come.
I got a story to tell. So
Yeah,
I inspired my daughter because I said to her, "Listen. we're living in a time that we have the possibility to do something for ourselves without going to the traditional ways, because the internet is here. When your grandma was your age, yeah, and growing up, didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
She had to go to work to make money, she had to work for someone else, and if she wanted to start a business, she had to go to a bank to loan some money. We don't have to do that anymore.
No.
So
No.
realize that, you know
Yeah.
and if you have a craft, you can grow that through the internet,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
keep in mind. So now she's starting her own business this month, and I'm starting building her website, and she got inspired of that. So
Which is nice. Yeah.
people have to realize that you have so much possibilities,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
have to start and to taste something and try something out.
And there lies the difficulty, and I hear it all the time, is 5% effort, 95% consistency.
Yeah.
It's that consistency is where most people fail. I've done it previously where I've started something and not seen it through, and then it's never going to succeed. But if you stay true to it, i.e. keep producing videos or keep producing content, and you keep methodically doing that over time, you see the win.
And Andy, are you also, because this conversation I always have with colleagues about this? Do you think you have to focus on one niche or on one thing, or you can focus on several things?
From a security and diversity point of view, more than one. But I also have come to realize that with time being precious, it's so much easier just to concentrate on one.
Yeah.
So in reality, I have 5 niches, but realistically, I'm only working 2.
Yeah.
The way that I do this, and this is the habit thing I was on about earlier, is that the one that is the YMYL, which is in the health niche, that one I've had just over a year, and it's a slow burner. But I think it could be a big provider in time. I see more opportunity with that one. Personally, I just put 3 evenings into that one in a week. And I think that's fine. I'm just investing. That's all I'm doing. I'm slowly adding to it, and it's growing. It is making small income, which is, appreciated, but it's a long-term goal. The big one, which is my gardening niche one, now that's going good guns, and I wish I could just put way more time into that. But I think if I don't put seeds in the ground, pardon the pun, if you don't put seeds in the ground, it's great to put all your eggs in one basket. But I think that obviously the Google sandbox and growing audiences takes time. So I think it pays to have them spread across. But I sort of disseminate my time between, say, 80% in one, 15% in the other, and the other 5% is slowly put on the other ones, so that they're ready somewhere down the road. What I would like to do, we're coming back to what we mentioned about goals, is when I probably stop teaching or I stop working with Cultec, whatever happens down the road, I try and keep an open mind. I'm led by challenges. When they end, then I'm into the next challenge, but the challenges would be my portfolio. Then I'll go hard and heavy into each one of those. And I'm at the point now where I'm slowly investing into a content writer, which I'm initiating this month.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to show people, this is the accountability part, is that now it's making some real money. That money has to be reinvested. So it's about growing the asset.
And that gardening, is that a passion of yours, or is this just a niche that you randomly chose?
Well, it's a bit of both, to be honest. I'm an avid, people who know me know I'm an avid DIY person. I should have a channel on that, but I've never aspired to doing that, to be honest.
Okay.
So one day on the weekend, I always do some DIY. I have done for numerous years, built the man cave, renovated houses, you name it, done it. But I enjoy that because that's therapy, because I'm not thinking. I'm more practical. So that for me is a nice yin and yang effect. So the gardening one, then I thought, okay, I've got this particular problem in my garden. I've got authentic photos. I could just record the process. But then it sort of expanded. My father was a landscape gardener for 40 years. So I did have some green fingers, probably not as green as his. But I do quite like the opportunity. And I think I'm fortunate the 2 main niches I've chosen are a happy accident. They do. I mean, obviously one is seasonal, which is okay, not brilliant, but it is what it is. But they're both in niches that have large audiences,
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
also quite broad in the sense of I can go in quite a multitude of different directions.
absolutely.
That's very much like we mentioned earlier. Get started is you choose a niche, you get started, and then you suddenly realize, is it a big niche? Could I do a lot with it? You don't know unless you get started, but then you find that out from mistakes.
But it doesn't matter if it's a big niche because if it resonates with people and people find it interesting what you have to say,
Yeah,
you're going
yeah.
to get an audience.
So I'm
Because
sorry, that's a long answer. I would say ideally two niches at least.
okay, and now hey, it's a great answer. I love it because and you're going in depth, and I love that. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I
Awesome.
would just love to say it's all one and put it in there, but you just know that somewhere along the line it could be slammed by an algorithm update, and then your baby has, not getting precious about it, but you are precious about it because you've nurtured this thing, sometimes hands on and sometimes hands off, but you've created something, and to see that then not necessarily fail, but to not achieve its full potential is disheartening. So I
Yeah,
think the game to be played is once you go in, you get smart. You realize, right, it needs different flavor of content. It can't be all transactional or
no.
commercial. We've got to have some informational in there, or conversational intent.
And are you building a list on that niche or not?
Yeah, I do. I do
Okay,
record my
and then
process.
then you don't have a problem. If something happens with that, you're always going to be in contact with your community. So that's good. That's
Yeah, and the way I look at it is the content I'm trying to write is better than what's already on the internet. If I always just keep that as my main principle, I even if it gets hammered by an algorithm and the traffic goes, I know that's short lived because I know the intent was always to be honest to the reader.
yeah.
I'm not just doing it for the monetary gain because I believe that it'll come up. I mean, without going into too much history, I come from a reasonably blessed background. Money
Mhm.
doesn't make you happy.
No,
It buys elements that make you happy, but like shiny object syndrome these days, and it's only sped up. That is superficial and only lasts for so long. Earned money is better than given money. And when you've earned
hundred
it, it
percent,
tastes far sweeter.
100%.
Yeah.
And that hearing from someone that has that experience, hey,
Well,
I
I had it
respect
and I lost it. So I've been at two ends of that spectrum. And I can tell you when you've lost it, you suddenly realize, wow, what really
but
matters.
you know why you lost it. You know
Yeah,
why
yeah,
you
I do.
lost it
I
right
do.
now.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I
Because
do.
if you don't work for your money,
Life
it's a whole
lessons.
different ball game. So
Yeah, life lessons that make you stronger. But I think that's the beauty. See, is that I at heart I am a marketer, and I
mhm.
do believe in things like the ABC principle. Are you familiar with that?
No,
All right, the A workers work for the B workers managed by the C workers. Okay, so the
okay,
A workers are people that have never failed. They've always achieved something. So they're the very, astute and educated, but they are risk reverse. They aren't the entrepreneurs. And it's not technically, but it's predominantly true. So
hmm,
therefore, they're going to work for people that will take the risk. That's the C workers. They're the ones that failed, had the knockbacks in life, and therefore are used to the adversity. They pick themselves up and they get on. The B workers are sort of middle of the road. They do
hmm.
well if they apply themselves, but likewise take an element of calculated risk. So we employ them. They're the managers. That's all I've done all my life is be a manager. So therefore, the A workers work for the C workers, managed by the B workers, and it's really for me that is very very true. So when I equate that to affiliate marketing, I'm the entrepreneur, so now I'm starting to take those risks, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
I'm also then the smart person allegedly when it comes to putting that content together, and they need to make sure it's good, it's well researched, it's better than what's already out there. But then I'm the B worker, I'm managing all this, and I'm thinking, right, am I doing enough over here? Am I writing enough product guides? Am I writing enough informational guides? Do I then have enough information to content cluster on a particular silo? And when you're wearing all those hats, oh my god, do you get burnt out a little bit?
Yeah, but I think in the time that you're going on your journey, there going to be a time that you have to get people
Yeah,
a team together so you can share the work because you can't do anything, and that's something I realized. If I'm
yeah,
seeing what I'm doing right now, all the stuff, I do have to do it right now because I don't have not yet the finances to have a team around me. But I know when this thing is going to grow, I have to
yeah.
do that to maintain it. So and to
and,
grow it,
and
you have
that's
to scale it.
exactly where I've got to right now is that
Yeah,
it made some reasonable money last month. That money's going straight back in, and it's a content writer first and foremost.
Hmm.
And again, there's a learning curve there. Good,
Yeah.
bad content writers, educating them, developing your SOPs, your standard operating procedures. But again, that's another part of the journey I'm looking forward to.
I can't wait. I can wait. But I
Yeah,
know it's a long journey to go, but I'm
yeah,
enjoying it. And I had the same problem with you. On a point of time, I also was a little bit burned out about it, but I still thought about my goal and where I wanted to go. And I picked myself up and went for it. And you just have to enjoy it because
yeah.
if you listen to all the big CEOs, they went through the same thing, you know.
You do, you do.
Less,
And I think it's I think it is good. I think you
yeah,
test your metal when you have a few knocks.
yeah,
Okay, Google's always there to give you those, obviously with a an algorithm update, but that's no bad thing. You've got to look for the opportunity in the in the something that's gone remiss, purely because you're trying to discover the data by all accounts. What wasn't I doing that needed to be done or
hmm
done better?
hmm
And even when you don't get hit by an algorithm update and you see the analytics and looking at how the audience are engaging with your content, as you do like with your videos, and you're seeing, that particular video is better than that type of, and
yeah,
for X, Y, you can watch a million videos and you can watch it from other people's perspective, but living it gives you way, way more,
yeah.
way, way more.
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Right.
Awesome.
I think we've just come up to the hour now, and
Mhm.
wow, that went fast. I really do appreciate the insight. We are definitely going to have to do a catch up, and I do
Oh,
need to interrogate
we
you a
going
little
to do
bit more
that.
for that descript. Where can people, obviously, for your audience out there, where can people find you?
So they can find me on YouTube. You already have the link, I think.
Yes, I'll put
They
that
can find
below.
my company is LeviGomez.com. That's my website also.
Yeah,
So they can see. But now it's only in Dutch because I'm targeting Dutch people right now. So that's
yeah.
why it's in Dutch. Maybe in the future it will be
When
multilingual
you
in
expand the
English
empire,
when I'm going to expand it, right? And they can find me on TikTok. They can find me on Instagram, Facebook, also some Twitter
right?
occasionally. So on all the channels they can find me. So
Perfect, lovely. All right, many thanks, Levi. I do really
no,
appreciate the time, and I will continue watching your journey as well because I've enjoyed some of those videos. Very
oh
down
thank
to
you,
earth and honest.
awesome,
And let's reconvene in a good few months' time, and let's see how far both of us have got down on that journey.
Andy. Thank you very much for this, man. I love it, and I appreciate you a lot. And we are definitely going to do it one more time
All
or
right,
more.
fantastic, lovely.
Okay,
Thanks, Levi. Keep
thank you,
well.
man. Bye bye.